What's up, Blizzard Nation? Welcome back to Strictly Blizzness, episode 110, I believe.
Ooh.
Someone will correct me if not.
I wasn't even there to remind you.
Right, but did you know?
I did know.
We were not even there in general, but
yeah, I thought I was going to have to do it.
I got all this like angels in the outfield space right here. I didn't even put a cup here, but we're at this point we're not restarting, so that's awesome.
I brought mine all the way to Atlanta, and you
Look
don't
at
even
this
have one.
filmmaking magic.
There you go. Now we're set. Now we're set.
Yes. Well, you're not here in general, so let's start with that. Where might you be, Kathy?
I am in beautiful Atlanta, coming to you live from here. It's called Here. The place that Helen lives is
Atlanta?
Here. Here. Here is the name of the building.
Really?
Yes, Here. So I'm coming to you from here.
My confused face that's actually Google Maps. Take me to here.
Take me to here. And she is up on the very top floor. So this is actually, the background that I have is a view from her window.
Oh, that's cool. Not a terrible view every day for her.
No, it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous.
So how has it been?
It's been fabulous.
In here.
It was at here. When we got here, when we had a very long drive, we split the drive up, not quite 50-50, but pretty close, which was cool. So we both got to nap here and there because we didn't get much sleep before we left.
Sure.
And everything has been, there's been hiccups, but nothing that isn't insurmountable. So she's got class later today. We've made a couple target runs, of all the stuff that we couldn't fit in the car because there was only so much you can fit in an Equinox.
Yeah, right.
But it was packed to the brim, I have to tell you. We did a good job.
How many classes today, or is it just kind of getting your feet wet type stuff? So
for graduate school, she's intending to do this program in 1 year. So that means she has to take 15 credits each semester. So most of the classes are 3 to 4 credits. So she has all of her classes between Monday and Thursday, which leaves her Friday for catch up. And if she's got to travel back to Wisconsin, things like that. So
got it.
So she's got very full days, Tuesday, Thursday, very full late afternoons, Monday, Wednesday.
Okay.
So she can start later on Monday and Wednesday, and then she starts early and is done earlier on Tuesday, Thursday.
10-4. Well, in the excitement to explain to Blizzard Nation where you were, I totally forgot. Huge shout out to Creative Edge and Edge VR for still making Strictly Blizzness possible.
Even on locations like from here.
Yep.
Yes. And thanks to Werner Electric, who's still on the docket as well.
Sure, you bet. Yeah, I don't. It would have probably taken me 3 days to set up what Creative Edge and Edge VR did. So thank you.
It is weird seeing you as like a NASCAR.
I know, right? Like
or something.
Yeah, I feel like Days of Thunder references are coming. So, Cole, stop playing Peekaboo and Rowdy's Rear View. So, easily in the top 10 Tom Cruise movies. Different convo for a different day. So,
yes, very nice. Very nice. So, some stuff has happened since we last met, and I'm sure that's what people want us to talk about other than our personal life.
Sure.
I don't know. You got anything in Blizzard World? I know I've seen some artwork for balls coming through, so that's fantastic.
Yes. Cool. Yeah, cool stuff. Really excited. So, got referred to new graphic designer. So that's always a process because I don't speak graphic designer. So he asks questions that then I have to ask somebody else to translate for me. But it's good. So it's good. So that we'll share eventually on that once we start working on theme nights and stuff too.
Yeah,
I think that's
we don't want to show the balls and then have you guess what the theme night might be.
Right.
Oh, that might be a cool thing. We'll see.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess on that question too, this is the nature of the show, but I haven't asked you off camera yet either. So has the league officially decided 7 or 8 home games for all teams, or that's about to be determined, or?
So that's about to be determined, but as of right, and okay, let's back up because
Sure.
some of that has to do with dates that match up in the time frame that we're looking for. So we're looking to play that championship game that first weekend in August.
Yep.
So we kind of got to work backwards from there.
Yeah.
If we do that, and we want to give ourselves a break in between those division championships and that final game. So you got to back up one more week again for it to end, playoffs to end. So we're kind of going backwards this way. And with that being said, we're looking to start the weekend of March 17th, St. Patrick's weekend, which you and I have already kind of talked about on this show. So as long as there's dates in between each of those weeks from the 17th through that end of July, will be great and can do 8 home games. If that's not the case, then we have to figure out a way not to inundate people with a bunch of buys in between.
Sure.
We've talked about this before. Everybody's like, how come you play so-and-so 3 times? People, until all the arenas have all the same dates, that's what's going to happen.
Right.
There's not much we can do about that. We would absolutely love to be able to play everybody, twice, home and away in our division. But if there's not dates available, or if we share the same dates with Frisco, that's a problem getting Iowa in, or, it might be great for us in Frisco, but nobody else.
Yeah.
So a lot of ups and downs there that we still have to face. We're hoping to have a schedule out by October 1st. So that means right now, Todd, I think, has 4 teams' dates into him. There's still arenas that are working on dates for the IFL. So just to give everybody a little bit more background, some of the arenas have hockey teams in them. So you wait for the hockey league because the hockey league is done or in playoffs when we start. So they always have to have their playoff dates lined up, which may go away if they don't get to the playoffs, so on and so forth. For us, there's graduations, and other arenas, there's graduations for their local colleges or tech schools. There may also be other sports that are played in their arena, like our arena has UWGB basketball. So changing over the floor from basketball to us or vice versa. All of those things have to get worked out by those arenas. Usually by September 1, those dates are known,
right?
But I can't say that's for a fact with some of the other arenas around the country.
Yeah. And I think we've unpacked some of that process before. There's not a lot else in Blizzard World right now besides game ball stuff. I am, contrary to popular belief, I'm not out golfing or vanished.
No, you are not.
I am not in the office, though. I apologize to Selena and Knapp. I am probably a lunch meeting every day and 3 or 4 sponsor meetings or partner meetings a day. So it's just a lot of that right now. And I think now more than ever, that stuff's important, because just sending an invoice versus an in-face meeting is, we're still in a weird time, and I'm not going to relate it to COVID. Just as you have some of these conversations, marketing budgets and people and business is still in flux. So it's definitely face-to-face conversations are warranted, and being understanding of the scope of some of these company businesses is part of what we do. So yeah, it's a lot of meetings.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that COVID set this tone.
Yeah.
Right. There's still a lot of people, even here in Atlanta. So Atlanta is known as a big city. There's still labor shortages for restaurants. There's still labor shortages for retail. So it's very real all across the country still. Right. Our government is saying that the unemployment is really low, and yet where are all these people? Not every job can be done from home.
Right.
So
that's my world, and probably Blizzard World right now. So Selena's had a ton of community appearances. Knapp is getting behind the scenes here, working on a lot of group leads, really working on youth sports night for next year. And he's really good at the football piece of what we do in regards to historic Blizzard stuff. So he's doing a lot of that when it comes to alumni stuff. And then little known fact about Knapp too. So Knapp actually during this season still coaches at Lawrence too, which we love. And I thought was really cool when you and Larry made Nat part of the team, that we were still able to support that part of football love that he has. So it's really cool. And it's a good networking piece for us too. He's plugged in at football. He's getting our name out there. Those kids came to a game. We had some interns from that team last year. So it's good all around, and it's cool to be able to support that piece. Because I think when he took this, now that he's 2 seasons in, it's definitely a lot more ticket sales stuff than football X's and O's. So
Right.
no different than me playing guitar on Sunday that fills his bucket in a different way. And I think it's awesome that we're able to support that. So
Yeah, and for those of you that don't know, that watch us from other parts of the country, Lawrence University is in Appleton, which is about a 30-minute jaunt from Green Bay. So we definitely have fans in that area of Wisconsin as well. It's not too far of a trek to drive up.
So that is the abridged version of behind the scenes in Blizzard World. So I know I interrupted a director's call when I was coming to say bye to you last week. So like, is there any news IFL wise? I know the forum and fans are chomping at the bit for new teams. At least any timing stuff on when we might hear some of those?
Yeah, so while we're recording this, we can't talk about this. But when this airs, it will be a done deal. So I can openly talk about it. We have signed the Jacksonville Sharks to our league. There was speculation out on the forum wondering where they're going. They won their championship in the NAL.
Yep.
They have left the NAL on good terms. And, you know, I think both the NAL and the CIF are kind of in this state of flux. There's been talk about them merging. There were a bunch of CIF teams that went to the NAL, which then kind of leaves the CIF broken, if you will. So do I see that melding? Yeah, probably. I'm only like the forum giving my opinion.
Sure.
I think that they will merge in some way, shape, or form. You know, a lot of those CIF teams don't want to play Ironman, so NAL's got to figure out what they're doing there. We're excited to have Jacksonville as part of, you know, our league. They bring a great brand. They bring a great fan base for sure.
Yeah.
And we hope to give them a little more stability. I mean, the NAL was a hot mess. Antonio helped to light that on fire a little bit. So I think having some consistency, some true leadership, I think will be good for their team and good for us as well. So that takes us down into Florida, which we are talking to a couple more teams that we have at least one that will announce for 24. We have to hold off on saying anything about that just because there's some things that happen with expansion. There's some things that happen with other leagues that just have to get ironed out. So we'll wait to hear about all that. And it could be a 25 team. So we have a cutoff date the end of this month. So it may happen for 24, may not. We'll see. But yes, Jacksonville is part of our league now. And we're just really happy to have them on board. We did meet with their ownership group. That was the tail end of the call you had heard. So all good stuff.
And then I think public info out there, so I don't think we're saying anything we can't hear to, but Bay Area is just trying to navigate a new place to play, right? But it's still in the IFL.
So Bay Area will be in the IFL.
Okay.
That thing that's out there has not been approved by ownership.
Okay.
So that means they can't move unless, and again, that's got to be done by August 31st. So all the speculation that's out there about Massachusetts, about Bay Area, you know, you got to be careful where you get your info. People might be talking about stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
But that doesn't mean that it's necessarily for this season.
Sure.
So we just have to kind of wait till all of that gets ironed out. I know there's an RFQ that's out there, from these other arenas to see if it works for the Bay Area team.
Got it.
And we just kind of take it from there. San
Sure.
Diego's a go where San Diego is. And yeah, we'll just, I think that helps me segue into something.
Sure.
I know it helps me segue.
Okay.
So I see a lot of things, again, these people that know or think they know our business, and they talk about, well, why don't you go to this arena or that arena? And again, there are arenas in our league where it will cost a team $75,000 for a game just to have it there. There are arenas that charge $9,000 per game to have it there. That's a big difference in, a cost that has to hit your income statement as an owner. So I love the fact that all you people think we can just go anywhere, but there's a lot of arenas that won't take an indoor game, number one. Number two, we don't have the following in those cities to be able to go into the bigger arenas. So there's that. And then just the overall cost is just crazy for some people to be in those arenas, especially if your ticket, let's say the tickets that you sell just gets you the 75 grand.
Yeah.
To be there, is it really worth being in that arena? And I would say no, because your ticket sales are supposed to balance out the rest of your income statement.
Yeah.
So let's just put it as, when you're shopping arenas, you're shopping for the best deal. You're hoping to get not only that rate that's low, but maybe some share of parking or some share of the food and drinks. So yeah,
that makes sense.
Every arena is different.
You bet.
So there's another thing that hit the forum, and it was leaked. We're not really sure how it got leaked, but I want to add some clarity to it because it's getting lambasted for all sorts of things. Coach Riggs was brought up. Lorenzo was brought up because of it. We have changed our vet rule. And in changing it, what we had looked at was our rosters at the end of the season. And at the end of the season, we saw that so many of our teams had mostly rookies. And yet we had a lot of older players. Now, what we did was we kept it 7 vets. But what we changed was how you classify a vet. And how you classify a vet is by their age. We were doing it if you played in an indoor league or a recognized league and you at least had 6 games in a season, you were considered a vet after 3 years of that. What we found, especially this past year, is we had guys coming in from NFL camps where they had played, maybe they even played in the NFL or they were on a practice squad. They basically bounced around for 4 or 5 years and then came to our league.
Sure.
We were classifying them as a rookie because they had never played in indoor football. They're not a rookie. They're a rookie by indoor standards, but they're not a rookie. They played football. If you remember, we said that the IFL is a developmental league. Well, you're not developing players if they've already played in the NFL, CFL,
Sure.
XFL. The XFL and the NFL both have told us that they really don't look at players beyond the age of 27. So that's why we put an age cap in, that when you're at that age, you're considered a vet.
Got it.
There are very few guys that are done with college and then 5 years later, they decide to play football. There are many players that stay in shape and they've played in our indoor league and they've proven themselves in our indoor league at the age of 28. But they're also classified as vets. And I think that's what people are forgetting. Sure, they played for a long time. Yes, they know the game, but they're already a vet. We didn't do anything horrific to the current rosters. When we looked at the current rosters, a lot of teams were at 3 vets, 4 vets, 5 vets. To me, I think it really is only going to affect Jacksonville coming in as number of vets. So although it's everybody was lambasting Riggs saying, oh, you remember when Riggs had all vets? Yeah, he did. And then he praised the fact that we put the vet rule in because he had to cycle in new players. Now let's talk about why we don't want too many vets on our teams. one of our biggest expenses in our league is workers' comp. And workers' comp covers any player that's on short-term IR, long-term IR, as well as any hospitalization, surgery, so on and so forth. What happens to the body as we age? Well, if you're in great shape, you can usually recover pretty well, but there's those injuries that they're going to happen, a bad hit, whatever the case might be. As we age, we recover slower. So a lot of our high workers' comp claims come from, you guessed it, older players. I am not saying, so don't take the words out of my mouth, that all older players are not healthy.
Sure.
That's not what I'm saying. But I am saying that if you graph it out, the expense for an older player is higher than that for a younger player. Now, we've had some great success on the Blizzard with older players. BJ Hill came out of retirement.
Yep.
But even he would tell you he didn't recoup as fast as he did back in the day.
Right.
It's just the nature of our bodies. And we want to be able to give new guys coming out of college. And again, we're bridging the gap between college, XFL, NFL, CFL. We're not looking for the guys that are done playing in the CFL and now want to play. That's not the intention of our league. They can go play in the NAL. They can go play in the CIF. They can play in a semi-pro league. That's not what we're looking for here.
Got it.
So that was a big thing that came out, and we got lambasted for it, as we always do on the forum. But
you bet.
There's business decisions behind everything that we do. And again, when you hear the XFL and NFL say, we're not going to sign anybody that's at that 27 mark, 28 mark, then why give the guys false hope that we're going to get them there?
You bet.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
Those are two big things that came out this week.
Got it.
Or last week.
Very cool. Well, did you end up, I know we're on the clock as we do these things digitally, but
I see that. We have 5 minutes, Ryan.
Did you end up seeing the movie?
I did.
And is it good?
It is.
Awesome. Okay. That's a good review then. So we're talking about Blue Beetle. Kathy saw it. My life is nuts right now.
You and I are going to go see it when I get back.
Cool.
It's worth seeing again. So I'm going to say hats off to DC. If they can make their reboots, which I think are totally unnecessary, but Gunn wants to do it, so more power to him. Blue Beetle was good on so many levels and great on many levels as well. Night and day to Flash.
Cool.
I will say that. And even better than the last Batman.
Awesome.
So I really, the cast is great. They work well together. There's enough comedy in it and some sadness and just all the way around. I mean, I went with Kate and she was telling me how her eyes were itching and she's like, oh, I wonder if I'll do any crying in this movie because I need some moisture in my eyes. And then at one point I looked at her and said, well, here comes the moisture in your eyes. So,
right.
It was good though. It was very good. Cool. Believable story, as believable as intergalactic stuff can be.
Sure.
But yeah, Susan Sarandon as a villain, she did a good job. I was kind of surprised. She did a really good job.
I'm looking forward to that one then.
Yeah. It will be fun.
I think that's what I got. You got anything else for Blizz Nation from Georgia?
I don't. Most of my stuff now is going to be IFL based, and just setting the record straight. Not what's on the forum, but setting the record straight.
You bet. It's that time of year, so
yeah, we'll do a lot of that in these next couple episodes that happen over this winter break that we're about to get into.
Yep.
And we'll continue to update people on what's happening in Blizzard World. But yeah, for the most part, the forum gets the news. The interpretation is like left field, totally out.
Sure. Well, speaking of reaching to the left and going to the right, should we try and accomplish?
I'm going this way.
Is this right, Creative Edge?
Because on my screen, that does not look right.
But it is right. Okay.
So, yeah.
How about this one?
So
that's either start the play clock or raise the roof, depending on where you're at. So
Oh,
Should we
man.
try and hit him with it remotely?
Let's do a remote hit him with it.
All right, let's hit him with it. Go Blizz.
Go Blizz.
Did I get it? No, go harder that way.
Whoa, I'm on your screen now.
Did I just hit Kathy in the face? Go Blizz.
Go Blizz.
Don't forget to like, follow,
Subscribe,
share.
and ring that notification bell to get all of our content in your inbox.